Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining me. It's another week of morning meds. Yes, we give God thanks for His keeping care. It is good that we are live for another day as you start your week, as you start your day, as you start your morning. I want to give God thanks for you. Thank you so much for joining me here on Morning Meds, where I hope that which we will be sharing will be of great encouragement and inspiration to you as you begin your day, as you start your day here on Morning Meds. I want to say how grateful I am to all of you who tuned in last week, as we covered the series, The Labor for Love. Yes, I want to say how grateful I am for you having tuning in throughout last week in that series as we looked on Genesis 29 with the account of Jacob, Leah, Rachel, and Jacob's uncle Laban. It was a very important and very significant account and lesson. And I mean, I hope that you would have, for your own selves, give it a look for your own personal reflections, because it is really good, not just only for the married couple, but it's also good for those who are single and expected. Yes, and it was such a privilege to have had my wife on with me to share in that series. It was really good. The reviews that we've been getting have been awesome. Have been really good. I really give God thanks that such an inspiration came to us right in the middle of us celebrating our fifth wedding anniversary. Yes, and when the idea came to me, I thought that it would be really good, right in the middle of us celebrating our fifth anniversary. And what we have heard thus far has been really awesome, really good. It has really impacted not only the single but the married couples. I think the married couples have really heard a lot, food for thought, and how they can use those things to that which we share to embellish and to benefit their marriage, their relationship, similarly to those who are Christian and single. So, from the depths of my heart, I want to give God thanks that you tuned in, and persons have been sharing, reviewing how blessed or how blessing it has been. So thank you for tuning in last week. We're starting a new series this week. Yes, we're starting a new series this week, and the series we're looking on is the essential Christian essentials. Yes, Christian essentials. I'm not sure how long I will go this week with this series. I thought about it just last night, how much parts I will do. But let us work it and see, because Christian essentials really deal with um the fact that your Christian experience, Christian spiritual disciplines, etc. And so, Christian Essentials, I almost dubbed this series the indispensable essentials. The indispensable essential. But then, on thinking again, I thought that such a word might be too hard. So, for so early in the morning. So, Christian Essential it is. So, thank you guys for joining here on Morning Meds. I want to thank those who are logging on right now. Yes, those who are tuning in on YouTube, God bless you. Paulette Brissett, Carshella Sharp, sisters, you guys are always a time the first get on YouTube. Thank you for joining. Those who are tuning in on Instagram, so we have some early risers. We have Bright Star Sin. I'm not sure. I think I know who that is, but the name is not coming so much to me now. But that's Bright Star Sim. Hi Kane. I think that's Damien. Yes. I think that's my schoolmate years ago. God bless you. Thank you for joining, bro. Domain 1993. Thank you for joining, Domain. God bless you. Shireen. Oh, the famous Shireen Mercedes. Thank you thank you. It's such a privilege to having my friend on. God bless you. and the Reverend Gerard Brown. God bless you. Big up yourself, Bishop. And those who are joining on Facebook, Lavelle, Lavelle Williams, God bless you. Abigail Piggott, Donna Chambers over there in the US. Marvelyn James, my aunt, God bless you. Una Hemmings, God bless you. Pamela Cameron, God bless you guys. And of course, the YouTube channel has been growing increasingly. I think we're at 285 subscribers, and so I want to stop long enough to thank the YouTube subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing to my YouTube channel. Yes, and if you haven't done so as yet and you're tuning in live at this time, most certainly go on over to my YouTube channel and just hit that subscribe button. Truly, you would have done the work that I am trying to do a whole lot easier. So God bless you. Thank you for subscribing. And of course, you can't we can't go any further without asking you to share this live. Yes. Thank you for joining on. My aunt again is joining on, Marcia Thompson. Thank you for joining on YouTube. Yes, so if you're streaming right now, just share this live. Just go ahead and share this live. So as we look to this series will be, it really will be turning the spotlight on the Christian, the individual, the person. And so we're looking on Christian essentials, you know are indispensable essentials. Almost said indispensable Christian essentials. And that sound good. But the first thing we want to look on under this heading, and of course, um, this will be great help for you in your devotional life. Yes. Thank you, Psalms David. Thank you for joining. This will be very good for your spiritual discipline, your spiritual life, and your devotional life. This will really help you as you reflect. So we have about 15 minutes. I won't go beyond 7:30. Last week, my God, my wife was here. I think she was the talker. We went like 45 minutes and stuff like that. We don't do that here on Morning Meds during the week. We do that on a Saturday when we go for an extended version. Yes, thank you for joining everyone. Person are coming in on right now. So the first thing we want to establish concerning Christian essential is about spiritual passion. Yes, spiritual passion. That's the first thing we want to look on for this morning. And I will, of course, you know that I don't give you everything in one morning. I'll give you them other morning, Wednesday and Friday, and then we end on Saturday. Spiritual passion. Do you have a spiritual passion? Are you struggling with your spiritual passion? What is spiritual passion? I want to use the life of the Apostle Paul in sharing on this topic, um, spiritual passion, and I'll be drawing most of my thoughts and inspirations from Acts 22 and Philippians 3, essentially Philippians 3, but companion text I'll be using Acts 22, because in Acts 22 we see the life of the Apostle Paul. We see two things. We see the Apostle Paul. We see his passion prior to conversion. Yes, his passion prior to conversion, and then his passion after conversion. What was his passion prior to conversion? This man would have learned and sat at the feet of Gamaliel, and one of the greatest rabbis of his time, and would have been taught the scriptures and the Jewish culture and all the trappings that is under the Jewish understanding and system at the time. And so the passion of Paul prior to his conversion, and we will see that in Acts 22 and Acts 26, and in some elements in Acts Galatians 1. It speaks to some of his life prior to his conversion, and his life, his passion prior to his conversion was one. Not only was he incredibly knowledgeable about the Jewish understanding and the Jewish system and the Jewish culture and the scriptures, of course, but this man was totally against Christians. Yes, he opposed Christian down to the T, to the zenith, and because he had a passion for God, and this passion for God was rested in the Old Testament idea of God. And so he totally would not accept the whole fact of Christ coming and Jesus being the Messiah, etc. And this new wave of doctrine that was now floating around about Jesus being the Messiah, etc. And so Paul's passion was, prior to his conversion, was to assassinate, to wipe out the Christians. Yes, and so he was so driven to get rid of, to wipe out the Christians, and we see now, we would understand, and we would see the passion after his conversion. His passion after his conversion was remarkable, because we know that on the road to Damascus, having decrees and having letters, he got letters from the I guess the governor court or Sahedrin, I'm not sure, but he got some letters of approval to go and persecute Christians. And but we recognize on the road of Damascus, he had his conversion. And you can, of course, see this in Acts, probably around 8 or 9 thereabout. And we see his conversion um, 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 when he met Jesus on the road of Damascus. And immediately after that, his passion after his conversion was phenomenal. It was second to none. I mean, this man took the gospel, took the world by storm, and he had such a drive, such a zest, such a passion to bring the message, the kingdom message, to the Jews, to the Gentiles, even when there was some disagreement who should receive the gospel first, whether it was the Gentiles or whether it was the Jews. And I think he and Peter had a great disagreement, and James had a great disagreement on that, and I think it caused some kind of disruption. But I think they decided on going to preaching to the Jews and then the Gentiles. But his passion was second to none. He had an insatiable appetite to spread the message, the kingdom message. And so we will look further in this series, and some of the things he went through. But his passion was remarkable. So he had a passion prior to his conversion, and so he had a passion, and he also had a passion after his conversion. And we see the we can able to we're able to make the distinctions after and before. But we want to look at some characteristics, and I want you to take note of these characteristics. There are 5 of them I'm sharing with you this morning concerning spiritual passion. And we will see most of our thoughts will be anchored, as I mentioned, in Philippians 3. Philippians 3. And hear what Philippians 3 says, because the first characteristics I want to share with you of spiritual passion. One is consecration. Yes? Consecration. Let us look at verse 7 and 8 of what we see in consecration. Um, Philippians 3, 7, 8. But what things were gain to me, those I count loss for Christ. Yea, doubtless, and I count all things but loss for the excellency of the knowledge of Christ Jesus, my Lord, for whom I have suffered the loss of all things, and do count them but nothing, that I may win Christ. One other thing that the Apostle Paul was doing was clarifying his values. And so in consecration, we are to clarify our values. Yes. As we do the will of God, and as we do the work of God, we must clarify what is most valuable for us. What is most valuable towards us, and recognize that for the Apostle Paul, what was most valuable for him was that he count all that he had gained loss for Christ. So he basically just gave his entire life for the work and for the mission of Christ. The second characteristics we see not only consecration, we see contemplation. Let us look at verse 10. Let's look at verse 10 and what verse 10 says. Verse 10 says, that I may know him and the power of his resurrection and the fellowship of his sufferings, being made conformable unto his death. In this, we see contemplation. Yes, we see contemplation. I want to say in this regard, in contemplation, it has to do with fixing our focus. Yes, fixing our focus. The Apostle Paul understood it well. What he wanted was to fix his eyes upon Jesus. He wanted to know Christ. He wanted to know him, and to know him so much. He wanted to know him and the power of his resurrection. He wanted to know Christ in so much that and you would have known, been aware about the resurrection story. You wanted to know Christ so much that you wanted to know the power that his resurrection brought. He wanted to live in the resurrection power of Christ. He wanted to know him intimately. He wanted to know him, and in such a way where he will know he will know the sufferings that Christ went through, and to be made conformable unto his death. Similarly, like how Christ gave himself for the ministry and for the proclamation of the kingdom mandate, Paul wanted to exemplify and to demonstrate similar qualities as Jesus Christ. He wanted to know him in a very serious way. And so, as we share the first characteristics, consecration, contemplation, and thirdly, we want to look on concentration. And we look to verse 13 for that. Concentration. Verse 13. Brethren, I count not myself to have apprehended, but this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind, reaching forth for the things which are before. This has to do with concentration, and I want to zero in on this because it's very significant for our spiritual experience. And this, I want to say to us this morning, here on Morning Meds, we must remove the distractions. Yes, remove the distraction. The Apostle Paul says in verse 13, I count not myself, I count not myself to have apprehended, but this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind and reaching forth for the things which are before. And so sometimes, as we live out our Christian experience, if we're going to be victorious, if we're going to do well in our Christian faith, we must forget some things. We must remove some distractions. We must remove those things which will bombard us, which will hold us back. Perhaps at this time somebody needs to ask themselves, what is holding me back? What is distracting me? What do I need to remove that is hindering my forward mobility, my forward movement? I want to share with you use the principle of concentration. Yes, forgetting those things which are behind. You know that there's some of us that are still living in the guilt of some sins, the guilt of the past, the guilt of the yesterday, even the guilt of the very with the fact that you crossed over and you are not converted into a Christian. And the devil would want to haunt you and play on your mind that, oh, this you did and that you did, etc. But the Apostle Paul is saying, forgetting those things which are behind and reaching forth to the things which are before. So those mistakes, yes, forget them. Move on. Don't loom over the hurts and the brokenness anymore. Forgetting those things which are behind and reach for the things which God has in store for you. So consecration, contemplation, concentration. The fourth one I want to share with you, and this will kind of just spread abroad as I looked at it from verse 12 to verse 16. Um, but it has to do with continuation. And hear what it says. Coming from verse 12 that we read earlier, and verse 13 about forgetting those things which are behind. We see a forward movement. And so verse 14 says, press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of God in Christ Jesus. And that is where it's really at. It is full time for some of us, for some of us to start accelerate, for some of us to start move forward with our Christian life. Move past your past, move past the hurt, press towards the mark of the prize of the call of God in Jesus Christ. I think some of us need to come to the full understanding of Christian maturity. You know, I think it is in James, or is it in Peter, that talks about stop eating or drinking milk. It is full time for us to start eating some hard food. And so I am challenging you today on the characteristic of continuation. Come to that place of Christian maturity. Yes? Move towards that place of maturity. It is full time. Some of us, need to move towards that place of maturity. It is long overdue. Some of us have been drinking milk for a long time. Yes, some of us have been drinking milk for too long. And God is saying, come to that place of continuation, of Christian maturity. Move towards maturity. Get up from a place of mundane, of stagnancy, of immobility, of just watching things just go past you. Come to that place of maturity. Have you ever look in church and you see some persons how them behave, and them how them react to certain things? You almost wonder, what have they been doing? You know, come to that place of maturity. So consecration, contemplation, concentration, continuation, and the fifth one, compensation. When we look on the whole matter of spiritual passion, yes, we ought to come to that place of compensation when we would have done all the workings, all the necessary work. We must come to that place now where we will be fully compensated. And then let's look to verse 14. Hear what verse 14 says. Press towards mark of the prize of the high calling of God in Christ Jesus. We will be fully rewarded. Yes, we will be fully rewarded with what God has in store for us. I don't know who this morning you have been struggling to move forward. Yes, you have been lingering or languishing in and dragging your feet. God is saying this morning, go full throttle this morning. Push yourself and go forward. Lean forward. Yes, you will face some very hard times. But I think it was Denzel Washington. If you have to fall forward, then fall forward. But all that you do not be stagnant. Do not go back. Fall forward. Press forward, man. If you're going to fall, let it be that you fall forward, but you don't fall backwards. Yes, remove the distractions. Forget those things which are behind you. Remove all the things, and this is so essential for somebody this morning as you look towards your day to day. I'm speaking to your spiritual passion. Yes. Develop these characteristics, right, and apply them to your life today. Concentration, contemplation, concentration, continuation, and more, and very significantly, you will be compensated. Compensation. And so, brothers and sisters, as you do your devotional, think on these things. Philippians chapter 3, it will help you in your own walk with the Lord. So God bless you, my brothers and sisters. Only a short inspiration, only a short word to help you. So fall forward this morning. Let it be that if you fall, you're going to fall, you fall forward, you don't fall going back. God bless you. Have a wonderful day. And join me on Wednesday morning for part 2 of the series, Christian Essentials. And of course, thank you for joining me. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for commenting. I'm seeing the comments. God bless you. God bless you, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for joining me on YouTube. Thank you for joining me on Instagram. And thank you so much for joining me on on Facebook. Yes, yes, yes. It's only 30 minutes, and I'm gone over by 3 minutes. So I have to go. It's only 30 minutes. So God bless you. Have a wonderful day. Have a God bless day as you start your day this morning. God bless you, my brothers and sisters. Have a beautiful day. Oh, and more certainly, remember to share the live. I'm always forgetting. Remember to share the live, and remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Yes, share the live with somebody. Somebody who have not received this live as yet, not heard about Morning Meds as yet. You want them to be blessed, even by previous series that I've done before. Come on, please share the live and let them know that you can get them on YouTube. Just go on over to my YouTube channel, type in my name, Kurt Bowen, KurtBowen, and you will see my channel. Subscribe, share, like, comment, all that what we want to do. God bless you. And also, um, later today, or later this morning at about 11 a.m., I'll be premiering a video. You don't want to miss that. So God bless you. Have a wonderful day. He brought me from a man. God was declaring oh, yeah.